Jaguar Wright explained how Rihanna was sold to Jay-Z at 16 years old. She explained how it was super sketchy that Rihanna got brought to America at only 16 years old without any parental supervision, and how she auditioned for Jay-Z at 3 o'clock in the morning. She explained how it didn't make sense that Rihanna's parents would let her fly by herself after just meeting Evan Roberts all the way to America to meet with Jay-Z in the middle of the night. And she alleged that Rihanna's dad got a $500,000 payout for letting this happen. She alleged since this was all out of the blue, Rihanna would have had to flown on a private plane to get from Barbados to America because she wouldn't have had a visa and her parents were not around with her to fly to America. And Rihanna even explained how Jay-Z would not let her leave until she signed the recording contract, and the label locked her in the office until 3 a.m.
You've gone through some big changes since you've been signed at Def Jam. Can you tell me what are the biggest changes you've gone through from St. Michael's, Barbados until now you being a superstar?
Well, one of them for sure is being away from my friends and family. After growing up around my mom and all my friends for 17 years and then moving to a big city with no one because all my family and friends are still in Barbados. So after moving to a big city with, basically around strangers, that was the hardest thing for me to cope with at first.
Are you lonely sometimes?
I wasn't lonely, but I really do miss my family and my friends.
And a lot of people have speculated this for years about Rihanna because people found it super weird right before Jay-Z signed Rihanna. He was working heavily with a 16-year-old Tierra Marie who signed to Def Jam by L.A. Reid. And after a while, there was rumors circulating all over that Tierra Marie and Rihanna actually had a fallout because Rihanna's career skyrocketed and Tierra Marie got let go from Def Jam. And allegedly, Tierra Marie is the Jane Doe that is suing Diddy and L.A. Reid for SA when she was just 16 years old. And I mean, it is pretty weird because Jay-Z just started talking to Beyonce as soon as she turned 18 years old. And not long after Rihanna signed to Jay-Z, there was rumors swirling all over the media that Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with Rihanna. And a lot of people still to this day never understood why Rihanna and Beyonce are not close, and we've never got a collaboration with the two of them, even though Rihanna was claimed one of Jay-Z's biggest stars. Jaguar Wright then went on to allege how Rihanna's last album, Anti, was basically a cry for help. She talked about how creepy it was that Rihanna did the album cover of a child with a crown over her eyes. And it says that the Anti-album is about a person opposed to a particular policy, activity, or an idea. And then Jaguar Wright explained how creepy the promotion video for Anti was. So I'm going to go ahead and roll you guys this clip of Jag explaining how Rihanna was sold to Jay-Z at 16. And you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
When are we finally going to have a real conversation about whether or not Rihanna was trafficked to Def Jam?
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look
She
at
was
her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl.
With no parental consent.
With no parental, nobody. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father was flown up separately. She was 14 and a half, going on 15. She's about 16 when Pon the Replay came out, wasn't she? Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam history.
How did they get Rihanna from Barbados to New York City quickly? They got her there quick.
Like that. On a private plane.
Yeah.
Just told you, just said that.
If people knew how many of these girls are transported around on private planes, how they're able to redact, change names on manifests, she wouldn't have needed parental consent or a passport if she got on a private plane on the manifest listed as someone else. They only worry about the body count. They're
Not the
not
name.
checking IDs at the tarmac. They're trusting whoever's bringing them on is doing everything above board.
How
So
they
many
get
girls were transported, models just like that, back and forth between Paris and New York.
Wow.
If you go back and look at the Victoria's Secrets documentary, they'll talk about some of the young girls that, Epstein had brought
Yeah,
over.
those girls were young.
12,
Young.
13, 14 models from Paris. Couldn't speak English. They were walked onto a plane, they were given sedatives and champagne and caviar, and they woke up in New York. Why did they want to pass Foxy Brown around?
I was just to say that everybody they
Why
passed
did they
everybody
want to
around
pass Tierra Marie around?
because
The
they
only reason
could.
Rihanna didn't get passed around was because she belonged to the king. Go back and look at that album cover for Auntie. Why she chose to put a child bride with a crown over her eyes. Blood everywhere. It's a sacrificial lamb. And the crown is over her eyes. So she can't see all the horrible things that are happening around her. It's sad when people are screaming and no one will listen. If that fucking album cover ain't a cry for help, I don't know what is.
Look
Yeah.
at even look now. They released this anti-diary full film before the album came out. Look at how demonic this album was. Just
The
look at that.
images,
She walks down a hallway,
dressed in white,
dressed in white, black
like a
and white
bride.
imagery.